Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunataya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Om Shri Ramachandraya Namaha. Atulita Baladhamam Hema Shailabhadeham Danujavana Krishanum Jnaninam Agraganyam Sakala Gunanidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatan Namami. Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatan Namami. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Om Dhyayami Chinmayanandam Gurudevam Mahamatim Prema Purnam Kriyashilam Sada Lokahite Ratam Kripalum Sundarakaram Samartham Satyadarshinam Vacha Tattva Prakashinya Shoka Moha Vinashinam. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Namah Shri Tulsi Dasa Sadvarishtaya Dhimate Puritam Hridayam Yena Rama Premamrite Name. Om Shri Tulsi Dasaya Namaha. Hari Om, a warm welcome. Yesterday we were discussing on the 21st Chaupai. We will chant the Chaupai and the Doha and then proceed. We have seen half of them though. We will chant and then proceed. Samujhata Sarisanama Runami Priti Parasa Para Prabhu Anugami Nama Rupa Dui Isa Upadhi Akatha Anadi Susamujhi Sadhi Ko Bada Chota Kahata Aparadhu Suniguna Bhedu Samujhi Hai Sadhu Dekhi Yahi Rupa Nama Adina Rupa Jnana Nahi Nama Bihina Rupa Bisesha Nama Binu Jane Karatala Gatana Parahi Pahichane Sumiriya Nama Rupa Binu Dekhe आवत हृदय सनेह विशेषे नाम रूप गति अकथ कहा समुझत सुखदन परति बखानी अगुन सगुन बिच नाम सुसाखी उभय प्रबोधक चतुर दुभाषी राम नाम मणि दीप धरु जीह दे हरिद्वार तुलसी भीतर बाहिरहु जो चाहसी उजियार सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Tulsidas said, देखी यही रूप नाम आधीना. We discussed this yesterday. रूप नाम आधीना. रूप follows the name. रूप ज्ञान नहीं नाम विहीना. The knowledge of the form cannot be gained without a name towards it. Isn't it? Now here yesterday we discussed, I remembered one particular example. Let us say somebody in your house had invited one of their friend or somebody. So the friend came, but not only he came, he brought another person. And they came, they sat together, he introduced the person, and then actually they were all there, they all got introduced, you were inside. Let us say you were somewhere inside. When you came, then you said, come, please come, very nice, please sit down, etc., etc. You did not ask for that other person's name. Then the person was, for some time they were there, probably some chai, coffee, something they did, and then the person left. After few days, let us suppose this person, your known person, calls up and say, you know that person I had brought on the other day? You don't know the person. You have seen him, but you don't know who it is. You don't know the name. Who? That person who came on the other day. You will not recognize a person. Why? There is no identity for that person. This Sharira, which is similar to the similar species in the globe, is identified through one Nama. And without Nama, this doesn't get identified. Therefore, Nama Bihina Rupa Jnana Nahi. Rupa Visesha Nama Binu Jane. The Viseshata of the Rupa cannot be known Binu Nama. Na Jane. You can't gain the glory of that Visesha. I remember one example which our Parampuja Guruji had given us when we were in the course. This one person gets into one compartment. He is traveling from one place to another place. So he got into the train. He went inside looking for some place. It may be unreserved compartment he was going. And then he saw there was some place on the other side, but a very hefty person is sitting. He said, go, that's it. I have to sit. He looked at him. And he kept quiet. He said, go, there is place. What do you think? Just because you are big, you can't accommodate others? Go outside. All that nonsense he spoke probably. And then slowly the fellow said, okay. He moved a little and this person sat there. Train left. And he looked at him. You have to strike a conversation, you see. Who are you? Because he thought that person is very arrogant. Naturally, when you look at some tough face, you feel that they are very arrogant. They may not be as such. Mike Tyson. What? Mike Tyson? One thapad this fellow's, all the teeth will fall down. Now he didn't know what to do. Now what? Because he has spoken in a rash way. So he asked, "Do you know who I am?" He said, "No." He said, "Thank you," and ran away. Earlier, when he did not know the person, he took him for granted. How many times we have taken people for granted, not knowing who it is? Isn't it? But the moment the person said Mike Tyson, then he realized. Isn't it? Now look at this. Rupa Vishesha Nama Binujani. You will not know the Visheshata of anything. It need not be only person, it can be some object also. Yesterday we discussed a ring. You thought it's some ring, some metal, some, generally some metal. Need not be silver also, some metal. But the moment the person said it is platinum, then the very vision changes. Remember, what you saw earlier is the same thing what you see now also. But the Visheshata of that changes as soon as you learn the Nama of that. What is the Nama? Platinum ring. Think. Therefore, Rupa Vishesha Nama Binujani Karatalagatana Parahi Pahichani. Even though it was there in my hand, Nahi Pahichani. I never realized until I was told. Why was I told? Be careful. It is very expensive. Isn't it? How many mothers tell the daughters, hey, you are wearing a gold chain. Be careful. All that they will tell. Isn't it? The object, when we know it is gold, then the care what we take is much higher. The responding is different. Isn't it? And then he says, Sumiriya Nama Rupa Binu Dekhe. Now see, Binu Dekhe, Rupa Binu Dekhe. Without seeing the object, without seeing the person, without seeing the form, Sumiriya Nam, even if you listen to the name. In the first case, the object or the person was in front of me. In the second case, the object or the person is not in front of me, but the remembrance, Sumiriya Nama, just by remembering the Nama, Avata Hridaya Saneha Biseshe. Look at the beauty in that. When that particular object is in front of me, I did not recognize. But here is a situation where, by the very remembrance of that Nama, I become delighted. Think. Let us suppose you go for a tour. You go abroad for a tour. Australia, America, Canada, Japan, somewhere you go. And you have left one of your son or a daughter at home and you have gone. You took the other person. Why did you leave this person? Because that person has got exams. He or she cannot come. Therefore, you left that person. You had to go. You went and came. Let us say you went. There, the daughter is with you. Where is the son? He is back in Bharata. Think. Even though the daughter is with you, whom do you remember more? Very good example I will give you. In Hanuman Chalisa it is said, Tuma mama priya bharata hi samabhayi. Tulsi Dasi writes. We all have been chanting. Now see, when he hugs Hanumanji, who? Bhagavan hugs Hanumanji after he came back from Lanka bringing Sitaji's information, location, etc. Ramchandraji hugs Hanumanji. Tuma mama priya bharata hi samabhai. Lakshmana is standing there. Where is Bharata? Bharata is in Nandigram, ruling Ayodhya from outside the city. And Lakshmana 24/7, 365 days, 14 years, have not even slept. He is taking care of Ramchandraji. And Ramchandraji says, Tuma mama priya bharata hi sama bhai. If you and I were there, rejected, I am going back, I don't need, what do you think of me? And then we will go away. Why? Because we all are working with Ankara. Think. Even though Lakshmana is there, Bhagavan did not take Lakshmana's name. Not that he took him for granted. But Bharata was somewhere else and the mind goes towards him. Think. Now here see. Sumiriya Nama, the very name taken in the mind, brings so much of joy. Isn't it? How many of you will be talking in the phone? Oh, really? You? How are you? Oh, I'm fine. So nice to hear your voice. I wish you were here with me. Yes or no? And let us suppose the person came one day. One fine morning, the person came. Oh my God, welcome, welcome. Probably you hugged that person and asked him to sit down. And then you held his hand, you sat next to him, spoke to him. Kushala Vicharana. You spoke. How is your wife? How are your parents? Hey, you had one son, isn't it? All that you inquire. And that person also inquires, and now that he has come, he sees your wife and children or your mother or whoever is there. And then Kushala Vicharan, then coffee, chai, everything is over. After some time, slowly your hand goes into the pocket and removes the mobile and you will start scrolling. And the other person is also no different. Today, world runs on mobile, unfortunately. Isn't it? And you also talk, he may also speak. But remember, when he had called, the amount of love I expressed is totally diminished. Now, he has come anyway. Hey, you want to watch TV? Keep watching, I will come now. And then you will go away. It is that person, oh, I wish you were here. At least you should come for 2-3 days. Think. This is our condition. What is it? Avata hridaya saneha biseshe sumirai nama. Just by listening to the nama, the one who is away, you feel so delighted. And here, Bhagavan Sri Ramchandraji's nama, the moment you chant his nama, there is so much of delight. Of course, you must have that aptitude. You must have that particular mind. You must have that love for Bhagavan. That goes without saying. Conditions apply. Just by taking Ramanama, nothing will happen. You must have that intimacy. You must have that bhakti towards Bhagavan. Then, avata hridaya saneha biseshe. Nama rupa gati akatha kahani. Nama rupa gati akatha. Actually, the sentence ends there. Kahani goes to the next line. Nama rupa gati akatha. The gati, the destination, in the glory, in a manner of saying glory. Of Nama rupa akatha. It is inexplicable, indescribable. Kahani samujhata sukhada. Once you understand the story, once you understand the glory, samujhata sukhada, it brings so much of joy, peace. Na paribakani, it cannot be explained. Right? Aguna Saguna bicha nama susaki ubhaya prabodaka chatura dubashi. It's a very beautiful expression here. Ramanama describes what? Both aguna and saguna. Aguna, the nirakara, Nirguna Brahma, and Saguna, Sakara, Saguna Brahma, both it brings the knowledge of. Aguna Saguna Bicha Nama Susaki, Ubhaya Prabodaka Chatura Dubhashi. That Ramanama is like Dubashi. Dubashi meaning what? The person who knows more than two languages, more than one language. Dubashi. Like for example, when some of the foreign countries, why foreign countries? Our own country Prime Minister, he comes to Tamil Nadu, let us say, for some rally, for some inauguration of something, recutting the ribbon or opening the screen, whatever. He comes to Tamil Nadu, there he has to speak in the rally, and there in Tamil Nadu, Hindi is not popular. A lot, that is their issue. We don't have to discuss about that issue here. Hindi is not popular. And when he speaks in Hindi, there is another person who knows Tamil as well as Hindi Bhasha, Dubashi. And when the Prime Minister speaks in Hindi, this person translates what he spoke as though he is speaking to the crowd who do not know Hindi. Similarly, Ramanama is that which translates both Nirguna Brahma and Saguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma, Saguna Bhagavan. It indicates both. Therefore, he says, Ubhaya Prabodaka. It gives the knowledge of both. How we will see. All that will be discussed elaborately. Tulsi very beautifully explains that with an example. Such a, very beautiful thing in the Ramcharitamanas is, Tulsi actually gives a very important idea or important information or important knowledge in a very simple word. But again, he also gives an example. Why? So that you and I can understand in our own way. He says, Rama Nama Manideepa Dharu. It is like Manideepa. Rama Nama is like Manideepa. Manideepa here refers to that particular jewel which emits light on its own, does not require an external support. Swayam Prakasha Manideepa. That which emits light on its own. It is like holding that particular deepa and jiha dihari dwara. Jiha here means jihwa, tongue. It is like holding that particular money at the tip of the tongue. When you hold the money at the tip of the tongue, now the money emits light. Isn't it? That money which emits light brings light within the mouth and in the outer world also. This is very easily explained. When in our country, this electricity was very bad earlier. Now they have improved quite a lot. We have to definitely appreciate the department. Earlier, hours together, power would not be there. I remember when I was a small boy, we were living in a very small house. Just one hall, one kitchen and one small veranda. And when the power goes, my mother used to do one thing. We used to always have candles in our house. There would be one candle stand. She would keep a candle, light the candle and keep it in such a place the light spreads in the kitchen, in the veranda and to the room. One candle will bring light to both the room, that kitchen and room, and also to the veranda. One light. Similarly, the Rama Nama is such that when you keep it in your tongue, it enlightens, it enlivens, it brings the knowledge of the inner being and the outer world. Vishwam Vishnurva Shatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Think. And then what? Antarbahishcha Tatsarvam Vyapya Narayana Sthitaha. It enlivens the inner world. Meaning what? It gives the knowledge of the inner truth in us. Not the Sharira Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankara. They are all gadgets which we use for transactional purposes. But Parabrahma Paramatma, Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra Ji is enlivening inside. And because of which I am able to function in the world outside. Thus, by taking the Ramanama, my mind, we have discussed this several times. We will be discussing also. Mind becomes quieter, purer, and it is able to see the inner being, the Paramatma, and also the expression of the same Paramatma as this whole universe. Think. Tat srishtva tadeva anupravishat. Upanishad says, having created the world, the Lord entered the world, pervaded in this world. This whole world is nothing but the expression of Paramatma himself, and it is the same Paramatma which is the inner being in me, which is enlivening me and giving that energy for me to work in the world outside. So, Antar Bahischa Tulsi Bhitara Bahirahu. Bhitara inside, Bahirahu outside. Tulsi says, Jaun Chahasi Ujiyar. Jaun Chahasi. Whatever you want to do with it, that Nama will support you. You want to understand the inner being, the Nama will support you. You want to understand the external world outside, Nama will support you. How beautiful. Ramanama Manideepadharu Jihide Haridwar. We will also see, when we come to Sundarakanda in particular, we will see how Hanumanji took the ring of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra Ji in his mouth and he could travel, taking the name of the Lord. Prabhu, what is it called? Prabhu Mudrika Mili Mukhamahi Jaladhilangi Gaye Achara Janahi. Prabhu Mudrika. He took the Ramanama Ankita, it is said. It has that Mudrika, that ring had Ramanama in it. The idea is, if you keep the Ramanama in your tongue, everything he will take care. Tongue means what? Not the physical tongue. Keep Ramanama in you and he will take care. Ramanama Manideepadharu Jihade Haridwar Tulsi Bhitar Bahirahu Jaun Chahasi Ujiyar Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai, Bolo bhai sab santan ki jai. After this, in the next Chaupai, Tulsidas ji brings such another beautiful way of glorifying this Ramanama, which we will take up tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om